Let's talk about the elephant in the room, what some of you might be thinking. Wait, didn't they do this airport already? First? Yes, but that video left a lot to be desired. It was our first Where's Transient parking and we had no idea what we were doing. Second, if you knew that it was our first, thank you for being a long time supporter, because if you watched that and still stuck around, you're the true MVP.
Air 1939er Hotel, Camarillo Tower, make straight on runway 26. Number 2, false Cessna 4 mile final, runway 26, clear to land.
Number 2, behind the Cessna 26, clear to land, 39er Hotel.
Today we head to one of the most popular airports in SoCal, and for good reason. We'll discuss how to avoid easily going to the wrong airport, ask me how I know, how to get a spectacular view of Naval Air Station Point Mugu on departure, and possibly the main reason everyone loves coming here, the restaurant. All as we visit Camarillo Airport in Camarillo, California. Now there is a reason why we chose Camarillo as our first WTP. It was my first cross-country airport, and as a student I was so nervous that I didn't know what the airport looked like from a pilot's perspective, and slowly, without knowing it, Where's Transient parking was coming together, which was really my wife's idea. And this won't be the last redo. We know a lot of our early videos need some rework. Camarillo Airport used to be Oxnard Air Force Base, and it had an 8,000-foot runway during World War II. And in 1976, after some contention with the residents, it was transferred over to Ventura County with 3 stipulations outlined in the Joint Powers Agreement. Shorten the runway from 8,000 to 6,000 feet, which cannot be lengthened, no large commercial traffic, and no cargo traffic. And it has remained that way to this day. I alluded to earlier almost landing at the wrong runway. How does that even happen? One very important note is the adjacent airspaces to Camarillo. 3 miles to the west is Oxnard's airspace, and 2 miles to the south is Point Mugu. Now, if you're coming in from the east like we usually do, you might just first see a runway in the distance. Set up for your landing, tell ForeFlight it's drunk because it's not directly lined up for the runway, but then hear Camarillo Tower tell you that you're lined up for Oxnard. Do a 180 and get resequenced for landing. Yep, Oxnard and Camarillo runways are nearly aligned, so it's really easy to set up for the wrong one. We're pretty sure it happens frequently because Tower was so nonchalant about it. You better believe I always set up my instrument approach as backup now to make sure I don't make that same mistake again. Camarillo Airport is a Class Delta and has one runway, 0826 at just a little over 6,000 feet as mentioned before. And because of that length reduction, there is a long stopway, which is the area with yellow arrows before the official area where planes can actually land on. And you'll see that shortly. And the airport is also near sea level at 77 feet elevation, which means amazing performance, especially with that long runway. Since it is a Delta, it is towered between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. local time, but they do have a noise abatement procedures that restrict any takeoffs between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m., so plan accordingly. We'll have a link to these procedures that include animations to correct traffic patterns in a description below. So the approach here is Point Mugu, not SoCal. And from our experience, this airspace can get extremely congested to the point that Point Mugu approach will reply with unable to any VFR request and tell you to call back in a couple of minutes. We've heard it plenty of times, so try and set up that flight following before entering the airspace. And be ready to be told unable if you want flight following out of here. Unfortunately, you can't set up flight following on the ground, which is why we felt it was worth mentioning. This is SoCal, so we do get days here and there of no sunshine, but being that the airport is close to the coast, marine layer is the main weather factor. but it does have an RNAV instrument approach, and depending on your airplane equipment can go to minimums of 250 feet above ground level. Again, coming from the east though, combine being in the clouds with congested airspace, and you'll be getting vectored while in IMC, which happened to me as a student instrument pilot while descending. Want to talk about being in the clouds while banking, managing power for descent, and responding to ATC while keeping an eye on the approach? Yeah, I was beat by the end of that lesson. Tower was so busy dealing with somebody with a stuck mic and all the incoming traffic that we had to make sure they wanted us over to ground.
Camarillo Tower, want us to switch over, 39 Hotel, want us to switch over to ground.
39 Hotel, contact ground point 8.
Ground point 8, 39 Hotel.
This is one of those, if you don't know, ask. I don't like changing frequencies unless ATC knows about it. As far as FBOs, you have your choice of some highly rated ones: Air 7, Sun Air Jets, and Channel Islands Aviation. We haven't had the pleasure of using any of them yet, but we are definitely going to in the near future.
Camarillo ground, number 1939 Hotel, clear of 26 at Bravo for the restaurant parking.
November 1939 Hotel, Camarillo ground, taxi to restaurant via Foxtrot.
Restaurant via Foxtrot, 39 Hotel.
We were given the restaurant via Foxtrot, but there is a parallel taxiway hotel. If it is your first time, make sure you pull up your map on ForeFlight and make sure you turn on the correct taxiway. It can be a little confusing, at least it was for me on my first time. Now, if you don't need an FBO, there is self-service fuel, but funny enough, when I did my first cross-country, fuel pumps were down, and when we visited this day, they were also down. Maybe coincidence, but just check the NOTAMs, make sure they are working. Obviously, the FBOs make a good fuel backup. So this airport was my first student cross country and our first where's transient parking. So fitting we would try and test something new. You guys asked for footage on what to do when you land at these airports, and at first we thought maybe do that in a new video, but we decided why not just add it to this one. This is different than another set of requests we received to show what there is to do locally in the city. That will definitely be a different set of videos. We want to keep where's transient parking for things to do directly at the airport. So after we park, instead of the next scene being us departing, we'll walk around showing some of the things to do here and then get back to our departure. Let us know what you think. Shortly on our right, there's going to be a museum called the Commemorative Air Force SoCal Wing, and they have a lot of warbirds. They are only open Friday to Sunday, and even though we haven't visited yet, looks like they not only show you the planes inside the hangars, but also bring you out onto the ramp. We have seen them during the air show with all their static displays, which is pretty incredible. Looks like we were getting our own mini air show with that Black Hawk in the distance. As some of you already know, we are huge fans of military aircraft, so this was an awesome surprise, especially since it was doing pattern work, so this wouldn't be the last time we would see it. Oh, and speaking of air shows, Wings over Camarillo is one of our favorite ones. We flew in last year. They had volunteers on golf carts picking up pilots, dropping them off at the entrance. It was amazing, and we actually hope to release a video of our experience at the show last year. If you go, just bring sunscreen because on a clear day, that sun gets pretty brutal. If you're in SoCal, you won't regret going, especially if you fly in. It's usually in August and there's plenty of parking for it. And hey, if you guys go, let us know, we might see you there. Alright, so transient parking. There is no shortage of it, and all with tie downs. We'll put the nightly price in the description so if it changes we can update it and we don't confuse you with the wrong price later. An important note though is that access to the ramp is best only during daytime hours because you need a key card to get back in. We were told you can access through the restaurant, a side gate adjacent to the restaurant, or even Channel Islands Aviation. So again, plan accordingly and don't forget about the curfew for takeoffs. Alright, so as I said earlier, we're going to change it up a bit and go for a little walk. The restaurant. It's the reason why so many pilots fly here, the Waypoint Café. Now here's a piece of advice. Remember the tower frequency and then add a 0 at the end. It'll be the gate code to the restaurant. Now, that'll help you from looking like us trying 3 different codes for like 30 seconds until the server just gave it to us. Now we have been here before, but ever since our first time, every time we come there's always a line. But today we were ready for it. Luckily the wait was only maybe 15 minutes. The service is extremely friendly and the food is seriously delicious. Maybe you just want to see all the planes coming into transient parking, and they do have some unique ones coming in from time to time. They have a viewing area called the viewport, with a mini tower that broadcasts ATC live chatter from actual tower. And there are benches you can use to relax. It even has a mini runway. We thought it was a really nice place for kids to explore. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to see approach traffic. It's pretty far away and you definitely cannot see departing traffic, but it's still a cool little spot nonetheless. After our breakfast, we decided to walk the airport and wow, was it worth it. First, we walked west, and a plane that we've been thinking about getting in the future is a Piper Saratoga 2 Turbo. The problem is we hadn't seen one in person, but lo and behold, there was one with its doors open just waiting for us. We got to speak to the owner, Eric, and he was nice enough to let us take a peek, and it was such a beautiful plane. Next, we walked to the east of the airport and found a Hawker Hunter, which is a transonic British jet-powered fighter aircraft that was developed by Hawker Aircraft for the Royal Air Force. This plane is rented out by the company here for military training. Unfortunately, that disqualifies me. Well, that and the fact that I have no idea how to fly a jet. Still, it was really awesome to see up close. Again, you never know what you'll see or who you'll meet when you just walk around an airport, but now it was time for us to depart. And if you want to get a bird's eye view of Point Mugu, stick around until the end.
Camarillo ground, number 1939er Hotel at restaurant parking with Sierra, ready to taxi, western departure.
November 1939er Hotel, Camarillo ground. Runway 26, taxi via Golf 2, Golf Alpha.
26, Golf 2, Golf Alpha, 39er Hotel.
With so much traffic here, make sure to keep your situational awareness high and make sure you're always on the correct taxiway because ground does its best to constantly have arriving and departing traffic moving by having some traffic on Foxtrot and opposing traffic on Golf.
Cessna 354 Mike Alpha, Camarillo ground, stay parking.
Piper 354 Mike Alpha for left close traffic at CFI.
November 354 Mike Alpha, Camarillo ground. Runway 26, taxi via Foxtrot, Golf 3, Golf Alpha.
Foxtrot, Golf 3, Golf Alpha, Mike Alpha.
TBM 0 Golf Victor, use caution, there's a correction, Cherokee coming out of Foxtrot.
Yeah, we got him inside, Sierra Golf Victor, we'll use caution.
Last aircraft calling Camarillo ground, say call sign.
And that was Piper 424 Tango Alpha.
Cherokee 308 Delta Foxtrot, Camarillo ground, runway 26, taxi via Golf 2, Golf Alpha. Use caution for multiple aircraft eastbound on Foxtrot.
Delta Foxtrot, Golf 2, Golf Alpha, 226 behind me, Commander.
Cat 451, follow the traffic joining from Golf 2 to Golf. November 8 Delta Foxtrot, you cut off, say again.
It's northbound for Delta Foxtrot.
Roger, thank you.
Camarillo ground, TBM 860 Charlie Alpha, Sierra Air 7, ready to taxi IFR.
I did mention an amazing Point Mugu Naval Air Station view. So, ask for a western departure. They will tell you to follow the 101 and possibly contact Oxnard if entering their airspace. We made it above 2,000 feet before reaching Oxnard, so we were above it. Then, turn south, climb above 3,000 feet before entering over Point Mugu's airspace and get a spectacular view. Just don't go into the restricted, you can't get high enough to get above that. If you wait till the end, you'll see the view we're talking about.
Alpha holding short of 26 on Alpha, ready for IFR departure.
2860 Charlie Alpha, Camarillo Tower, hold short runway 26, landing traffic. TBM Papa Uniform Tango, turn left Charlie, contact ground point 8.
Left turn Charlie, ground point 8 for Papa Uniform Tango. And Tower, Twin Commander 289 Golf Romeo in the run-up, ready for VFR departure.
Commander 289, say again.
Yes, sir, that's 289 Golf Romeo, we're in the run-up, we're ready for VFR departure.
Okay, we're ground. Number 289 Golf Romeo, Camarillo Tower. Roger, you can contact ground.
Since there's so much traffic landing and departing can sometimes take up to 20 to 30 minutes, especially if you are IFR. Luckily for us, it wasn't that bad, but we did have a line behind us as we departed. Most of that traffic came from the restaurant.
Camarillo Tower, Aero 1939 Hotel, number 2 in sequence.
Taking 1939 Hotel, Camarillo Tower, roger.
This is definitely a special airport. I mean, it was my first cross country after all, and I actually think my friend Justin, who was my CFI at the time, was even more nervous than I was. And I remember my wife sitting outside Chino Airport as I departed for Camarillo, seeing her waving. And now it's over 2 years later, and we're making videos about this airport. That's crazy.
Traffic off departure ends in a left crosswind turn, has you in sight, no factor.
Traffic in sight, 54 Lima.
We can't thank you enough for another week of you being here with us. It was really nice returning to the airport that started so many things. And we felt really good about giving it a more complete showcase on Where's Transient Parking. But speaking of Where's Transient Parking, we might be changing the name of our series in the very near future because it has evolved to covering so much more than just parking. Don't worry, everything will remain the same, but we're just going to include additional footage diving a little deeper into each airport, and we want the series title to more accurately portray that.
Cherokee 39 Hotel, straight out over the 101 freeway, approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
26, clear for takeoff, 39er Hotel.
We appreciate you so much, and it was definitely another week of amazing stories in the comments, so please keep those coming. We'll see you guys next week, and until then, go fly, go discover.
Cherokee 354 Mike Alpha, Camarillo Tower, hold short runway 26, landing traffic.
Holding short, landing traffic, public contact.
November 95 Delta, verify altitude 4,300.
4,300, 6395 Delta.
Source 6395 Delta, enter left base runway 26.
Left base runway 26, 95 Delta.
TVM 0 Charlie Alpha, contact Point Mugu departure.
Departure good day, TBM 860 Charlie Alpha.
895, are you on my frequency?
Hey, firm, Grumman 895, we're number 3.
From 895, roger. You're going to be number 4 behind the Twin Commander, heading to your right in the route.
Copy. We will sequence behind them, Grumman 895.
Cherokee 39 Hotel, frequency change approved, Oxnard on 134.95.
134.95, thanks for the help, 39 Hotel.
Camarillo Tower 32291, good afternoon. On the practice approach, VR Alpha will be going west, right crosswind, talk to Point Mugu on the go.
Cherokee 32291, Camarillo Tower, roger, continue inbound.
Continuing.
Cherokee 4 Mike Alpha, runway 26, clear for takeoff, make left close traffic.
Clear for takeoff. 4 Mike Alpha.
Cessna 3 November Delta, so that's Bravo, contact ground point A.
That's Bravo, ground point A, 3 November Delta.
November 9 or 5 Delta, intercept a 4-mile straight for runway 26.
Enter a 4-mile final for 2695 Delta.
Cherokee 308 Delta Foxtrot, Camarillo Tower, right cross approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff. November 308 Delta Foxtrot, Camarillo Tower, right cross approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff. November 8 Delta Foxtrot, cancel takeoff clearance, hold short, runway 26.
Okay, Camarillo Tower, Cherokee 308 Delta Foxtrot, sorry, radio problems, number 1 to go at 26.
November 308 Delta Foxtrot, Camarillo Tower, right cross approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
26, clear takeoff, 308 Delta Foxtrot.
Cherokee 4 Mike Alpha, squawk 1210, extend downwind.
1210, extend downwind. 4 Mike Alpha.
Tower 29 Golf Romeo, number 1, hold short 26, CFR North.
Number 9 Golf Romeo, roger. Cherokee 291, runway 26 cleared, low approach, report executing miss.
26 clear, low approach, will report executing the best, 291, thank you.
And November 291, say intentions on the go.
It's going to be a right crosswind, talk to Mugu.
November 291 on the go, right cross approved.
We'll go 291.
Twin Commander 9 Golf Romeo, right cross approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
So takeoff 26, 29 Golf Romeo.
Cherokee 8 Delta Foxtrot, when able, turn right crosswind for faster craft departing.
Right crosswind now, Cherokee Delta Foxtrot.
Cherokee 4 Mike Alpha, make a right 360.
Right 360, 4 Mike Alpha.
November 9 or 5 Delta, number 2, follow Cherokee 4 mile final, runway 26, clear land.
Looking for traffic, clear to land, 2695 Delta.
Grumman 8 9 or 5, Camarillo Tower, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
Runway 26, clear for takeoff, at 895.
Cherokee 8 Delta Foxtrot, frequency change approved.
Delta Foxtrot, thanks, goodbye. Camarillo Tower, Long Easy, November 888 Echo Zulu, number 1, runway 26.
On the 888 Echo Zulu, Camarillo Tower, hold short, runway 26, party traffic.
Hold short, runway 26, Echo Zulu. Camarillo Tower, Bonanza 6036 Golf 2 West, Saratoga Bridge, information Sierra.
Camarillo Tower, Centurion 121, Romeo Juliet, inbound on a practice VOR approach.
Sure, Centurion 121, Romeo Juliet, Camarillo Tower, continue about.
Continue, 121, Romeo Juliet.
Commander 9 Golf Romeo, traffic at 12 o'clock, 1 mile, same direction, 1,100, correction, 1,400 feet, climbing Cherokee.
29 Golf Romeo, traffic site.
On Easy 8 Echo Zulu, right down approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff, no delay.
Clear for takeoff, runway 26, Echo Zulu.
Commander 9 Golf Romeo, did you have that traffic in sight?
Stay firm, 89 Golf Romeo.
Commander 9 Golf Romeo, frequency change approved.
89 Golf Romeo, switch.
Cherokee 4 Mike Alpha, make an additional right 360.
4 Mike Alpha, another right 360.
Affirmative.
Roger.
Tower Bonanza 6036 Golf, Saratoga Bridge, Sierra.
Grumman 8905, contact Point Mugu departure.
Over departure, Grumman 8952.
Bonanza, Saratoga Bridge, Camarillo Tower, make right traffic runway 26, stay call sign.
Traffic for 26, November 6036 Golf.
6036 Golf, Roger.
Bravo, hold short 26, ready for departure.
Sure, 2539 Bravo, Camarillo Tower, hold short runway 26, landing traffic.
4 short 26, Sierra Bravo.
Long EV at Echo Zulu, you can start that right downwind turn.
Echo Zulu. Camarillo Tower, Sierra 23152, water tank inbound Sierra.
Sirius 23152, Camarillo Tower, identical. Centurion 1 Romeo Juliet, number 3, follow traffic 2 mile final, runway 26, clear low approach, report executing miss.
Runway 26, clear low approach, we'll let you know on the miss, 1 Romeo Juliet.
Runway 36 Golf, reduce the slowest practical speed.
We're slowing 36 Golf.
Cherokee 2901, continue runway heading.
Okay, runway heading 291, going miss.
Cherokee 4 Mike Alpha, number 3, follow Centurion 3 mile final, runway 26, clear to land, making a full stop taxi back.
354 Mike Alpha, would we be able to get a straight out over to Oxnard?
Long EV 8 Echo Zulu, frequency change approved.
Change frequency, Echo Zulu.
Aircraft asking for Oxnard, say again.
Cherokee 354 Mike Alpha, would we be able to get a straight out over to Oxnard instead of a taxi back?
Cherokee 4 Mike Alpha, affirmative, number 3, follow